Nice. Come on, AT gun. Finish it off. Is he demoing? No, he's not going to be able to finish this. Hello everyone, this is greyshotproductions, and today I'm here covering Company of Heroes 2. This is a replay submitted by a fan, so thank you very much. This is a 4v4 on Essen Steelworks with Titan, Onyx, Newton, 3D, Centurion, Sherman Tank, Rifle, and Malam. 2 OKW, 2 Austere, 2 Soviet, 1 British, and 1 American. If you want to submit a replay, submit to greyshotproductions@gmail.com or my Discord link down below, which, by the way, you can check out if you want to keep up with content on this channel. Also, with notifications like when I live stream, which is also down below, because I live stream on Twitch. If you have not checked that out, I highly recommend it. Also, I have not been using the mod for additional view because it causes some issues, so I'm switching back and keeping things normal for the time being until I get fixed. So hopefully that is resolved soon. But I still think I can get some great aerial shots and some good views of the battle, but we shall see. First thing we have is a Pioneer squad moving on in against a Rear Echelon squad. Alright, not too bad. The big thing, honestly, is right now this infantry section of riflemen coming on in. And do you have an MG? You do. You just jumped in the building, so I could not see you. But yeah, they're essentially engaging with the MG. Should push the infantry back. And because they don't have smoke or flares or anything like that, for right now, the allies are in a bit of a... What the heck? Did he just throw himself into a bush? Alright, cool. Don't worry, I got him! Jumps in, hits the fence. Alright, well, there goes one German soldier. We even have to shoot him. He literally knocked himself out. Speaking of which, allies are in control of both fuels. MG is suppressing them, so I don't know how long that'll last. But looks like they are at least holding and causing issues with MG jumping in. Folk squad's moving in, but as soon as they get the building, 3D is going to be able to throw the incendiary. Oh, never mind. MG pushes him back. Nice. So far, any interesting doctrines for initial units? No, really standard Grenadier MG mortar. Same thing, the American had one. Double Stern Pioneer is a little different, but overall, your basic build. 3D went Firestorm, Newton went Storm Doctrine, and yeah, Fallschirmjäger from Onyx. Allies have yet to pick anything. Mortar hits the conscript, MG coming in to suppress. With a mortar, though, that will put a wrench into the cog that is that MG force that is slowly coming on up, unless you bring up another mortar, which Milan did, to counteract the allied, well, the Axis mortar, sorry. On the flip side, allies unfortunately weren't able to grab that territory and keep it, but what is happening is smoke is coming down to block the MG, which had to reposition, and looks like enough fire from that Vickers and other fire from other directions push back the infantry, and as well as keeping the Axis back. I don't know how well this infantry section is going to do, mind you, because again, this infantry section is not exactly top tier, nor does it have any upgrades, but I can see it still doing pretty decent so long as it has some support. Right now, actually, it's surprising that we have an OKW, team without the Sturm Tiger. It's kind of shocking in my eyes. Grenadiers going to intercept the infantry section, so great job there. And Pioneers easily being pushed back by Grenadiers. And just really small arms fire from even the mortar. So excellent work. And oh my god, so low that squad is. But, Engineer squad under rifle, you can die. Or in this case, you can, keep fighting. We have a flare going out to identify where the mortar is to counter it. And the Stern Pioneer is now lying in wait. Fun fact, don't jump into a fence. And maybe you'll do well. Although there's a bush there, so you could hit your head on some tree branches. Tree branches. On some branches. Not branches, my god. On the... No, there is a tree. That is a tree. Never mind. My original assessment was correct. You could hit your head on a branch. Or burn it down with the flamethrower. That works too. Luckily, the engineer does manage to escape. Mortar, already vet one. On the left side, the other mortar not doing so hot. But it can reinforce with an ambulance. Right now, we have forces engaging. Trying to do what they can. MG is kind of just overwatching and can't provide MG support. And as you can see right here, it's opening fire, keeping the infantry contained in that sector. Oh, wow, okay. That's a hell of a time. I'm recording this after hours, so in fact someone followed me. Very kind of you, that person, to go and support the channel. But anyway, Grenadier Squad opening fire, but there's way too much infantry. They're going to be pulled back. They both have pyrotechnics, so both of them can call down either smoke or the coordinate fire. And again, the ambulance is going to heal them, so I don't think the Axis will be holding for too much longer. But remember, every minute they do hold... Oh my god, did Stern Pioneer Squad die? It died, didn't it? No, but it did drop a flamethrower. But they have a flamethrower. I guess he bought a new one? Or, I don't know. Royal Engineer Squad picked it up. It's not like they have flamethrowers for their units. Malam has gone assault... armored assault. So, very interesting indeed. Again, IS-2, nothing to sneeze at. Infantry's holding mid with nice little blob force right there. The mortar's like, oh, please hold still. Let me get a great shot on you, please. And MG kind of guarding this sector. So, again, they're all chained up, so they can go hand in hand into the MG and immediately all get suppressed. These two squads will be suppressed. Luckily, the third one did manage to veer out. Oh my god, Grenadier Squad driving on in, getting the upgrade as well. Gonna drop off men behind the line. Only one Grenadier Squad, though? Really? Just one? Okay, was expecting more. Infantry's on the retreat. AT gun moving on in. But the damage's already been done. Also hiding behind the coal truck. And now can use a flame attack. Can he fire through? Oh my god. No, hits the truck. Oh, AT grenade. Nice. Come on, AT gun. Finish it off. Is he demoing? No, he's not going to be able to finish this. There's no way. There's no way. Oh my god. When an engineer squad goes kamikaze for the Soviet Union. Alright. Well, the Grenadier squad's dead. Yeah. AT gun still manages to live. So, you know, some things are positive, I guess. This conscript squad manages to get out of there. Yeah, there's not really much I can say after that. I will say Stern Pioneer is being pushed back, so don't expect the flamethrower there to burn him out. We do have some Jaeger Command Squad on the field, so that is... Oh, yeah, Storm Doctrine. So you'll be able to pump out some infantry, good artillery, smoke, and also direct strike. All right, left is still under control, but the Allies did manage to take that back, like I said. Now the captain's on the field, so again, with the captain, we're going to see a howitzer, an AT gun, which we already have, and possibly an AA half-track, though we'll see. Stern Pioneer gets a good kill on the mortar. I don't think you want to pick it up with a Royal Engineer squad right there, and now we know he has 5-man squads because, well, 5-man Royal Engineers unit. Also assault officers with him. Meanwhile, the Germans have a Panzer Grenadier squad coming on in. Volk squad's medical or mechanized? He has gone medical. And he has upgraded, but unfortunately he still can't use it as a retreat point. Same thing with the other OKW player. We have a medical facility. But again, until you get the second building, you're not retreating there anytime soon. So right now, again, we have continuing fights along the flanks of the map. Both areas trying to control the fuel. But middle is completely open. There's almost no activity here. So right now, the Axis are actually, weirdly enough, in the best spot. Because while the battle's over the fuel, the farthest of the flanks are really not being touched. The fuel is being captured, sure, but no major engagements. But the Allies are battling it out heavy for the fuel and really, really desperate to grab it. Which, again, the Allies could, and/or Axis could navigate by putting down caches. Sure, it's a little harder for the Axis, but I think the Axis are doing just fine. 29 fuel and 58 munitions, so even without a fuel, you know, or never mind, they actually grabbed this one. And now the Allies grabbed one, so they're both kind of up in the air. But in general, if one of them were to go down, they're still doing very well in the munitions department, which is what I was trying to get after earlier. And if they do lose it, again, they have a majority of the map under their control, so they're still getting a huge portion of the... excuse me, sorry. Pioneer, you might want to run this big old blob infantry section, but they're still getting way more resources than the opponent. Anyway, Onyx, a nearly 1,000 manpower, and now is deploying Fallschirmjägers on the field. We got Titan, and again, he's deploying a half-track, assuming to burn the enemy down. Remember, wow, okay, so he went Jaeger armor, so that allows him to go with the Elephant. Interesting choice. I say that just because this map is a little more urban, a little more industrial. So if you're talking about like fighting, maybe a mid would make sense. But he's on the far left flank, so the elephant's going to be fighting in this terrain, which is going to be really difficult. It's for a big tank like that to navigate, but we'll see how it goes. Some good shots, and again, good job by Milan cutting off the territory. T-70's on the field, opening fire, hitting the Pioneer squad, slowly wearing them down. Conscripts taking over the position. We have, again, not only armored assault, but we have shock mortar, so ISU and 5-2. So we have an elephant ISU and 5-2 fight, which could be coming up very, very soon. But the other two people have not gone with Doctrine, which is, again, interesting, because you assume they would go with some type of force. Or like, I mean, they probably have a good idea what the Germans are going based on like certain units, right? Certain Pioneer can only get a flamethrower one way. The Air Command Squad comes out of a few doctrines. So you figure you have like a couple ideas, which I'm assuming why they pick theirs. Shock troops immediately come in, so our Pioneer's like, we're not dealing with that. We're not equipped for it. These guys, on the other hand, they know Onyx has gone with Fallschirmjägers because insert example here. Titan is a little more up in the air, though now you can probably identify it based on this. So we'll see what happens with a Sherman tank and Centurion if they finally pick something or they keep waiting. Meanwhile, again, Allies retake the fuel and hold on right. Volk squads trying to do what they can. MP40s is not a bad unit well, to have, but the Volk squads with the MP40 still don't measure up too much to shock troops. The shock troops have a very special ability that compared to a lot of infantry, where I believe they have an armor component, which allows them to take a lot more hits. So again, if you verse shock troops, don't use an AT gun, but note that it takes a lot more damage to neutralize them, or bundle grenades, or something like that. T-70 looks like it took a hit, but managed to clear out the right. Meanwhile, there's a little more fighting going on in mid, finally. Volk squads, oh my god, under fire. Incendiary going off. Volk squad, you're looking a little rough there. You may want to run. But infantry section are right there with the mortar pit, backing up, stopping any sort of advance. So Onyx, even though repositioning there, might not be able to last very long with all this firepower. Oh my god, there's even an American mortar here. Yeah, you're not going to last very long. Infantry section coming on over. Does he have the ability to upgrade? Upgraded for grenades and, of course, the men, but he has not garnered any sort of friends or peons or anything on those lines. Which is fairly curious in my opinion. But Tyrion is grabbing the territory on the left, and also looks like fuel is at least contested, so the Axis are significantly down, especially when they lost all the territory on the right-hand side. But it's not stopping the Axis from doing a counterattack. They have a support gun trying to provide fire. Grenade hits a lot of the Sturm and Volk squad. AT gun also hitting. Volk squad slowly moving on in, or it was anyway. More smoke. Just drop all the smoke. And there they go. Volk squad's moving on in against the AT gun. Might be able to throw a nice grenade on it. Unfortunately, the men... Oh my god, the 4-man scatter. So, that man just keeled over. It's like, my leg! Oh, my heart! Ugh. Yeah, and luckily the 4 men literally just ran ahead of it. Like, good luck, guys, carrying the AT gun. Good luck. Half-track reinforcing, so again, both allied players making sure they can reinforce. Axis have the ability to, just not yet. It's a little ways off before they can. Americans, though, upgrading with bars. They have a lot of DPS being put at the enemy. Fallschirmjägers coming on in. Again, Captain, pretty good with that gun. Again, having the bar, but alas, I have a feeling the Fallschirmjägers might put an end to them pretty quick. Indecent cover plus the bundle grenade could do a lot of work if Sherman tank is not paying attention. Meanwhile, fighting continues over mid. Onyx trying to do what he can. His Volk squads have lasted far longer than I honestly thought they would, given 3 infantry section. But they're still holding and still doing what they can. Recon by Titan overhead. And now we have a Sherman on the field, which I think may be the first medium tank of the game. Oh, well, technically there was an Ostwind. But even though it's using the chassis of a Panzer IV and very good against infantry, you're still going to have to worry about enemy armor. And you do have a pack gun, so I will give you full credit. Let's see, is there anything else? I mean, you are versing a good chunk of infantry, right? With the conscripts, Ostwind will do wonders against that. Ostwind will also help keep the shock troops at bay, you know. All right, moving on in. Oswin tearing the shock troops apart. They needed something, and the Oswin is delivering. Also can combat the T-70. So, again, versus Malam in this instance, I get why you chose the Oswin, and I think it was a solid choice. On the flip side, does the guy with the Fallschirmjägers have AT? And he does. He has one Raketwerfer, though may be intercepted by incoming riflemen. Mortar does a little bit of damage versus the armor. Fallschirmjägers pulling back because of the high explosive round. AT gun opening fire on the Sherman. Direct hit. Manages to hit target. I think a fighting position is going down. Oh, a cache. No, he's building a cache. Allies building caches. Excellent. Again, increasing resources even more. Again, right now, very close overall. But again, just curious to see how things keep going. Sherman pulling on back. Mortar pit might have to come in and force the AT gun away. Oh, he got Oswin his side too? Okay. Grenadier squad very low. Could get a nice pick. Does. Excellent kill. Grenadier's having a rough time today. They've had exploding engineers and unlucky mortar hits. Volk squad's coming in again, trying to hold that fuel at all costs. Meanwhile, the Oswin on the right, backed up by a pack. T-70 is literally hiding behind a bush and a small tree. Doing what he can. Again, we'll have to see how things go. But the big thing is that infantry, the attack gun doesn't have anything defending it. We do have fire coming down. That's the awesome support gun, flame barrage, that you get from the Doctrine. So, excellent work. Burning away the AT gun. He's probably going to be able to easily reinforce, but it is something to take note of. Volk squad's managed to, looks like, push back the shock troops. I think with the lucky grenade, at least in part. Another one throwing a grenade on the NG. Kinda not doing all that great, honestly. Oswin going on in. AT gun still there, but now we have the Grenadiers counterattacking. But alas, the 85 is in the house. And, yeah, probably going to start wrecking a lot of stuff. Immediately, what is it? Wait, I could be wrong. Was the pack gun just killed by that? No, it wasn't. I was going to say, what the? That's not the first time I've seen 85, like, wipe a AT gun in one shot. So I was like, what? Again? On the front? But anyway, great kill on the Oswin. 85 is lower on health, but even with, what, going to be 3? No, 2? I thought it was possibly 3. No, it's going to be 3 fouls. It's only, like, 55%. I think at 55% total on health. So he's totally fine. He's just backing on up. Pack gun as well, trying to get a hit, but hits the side of the wall. Half track coming in to reinforce the men. Left side, we have some engineers trying to take it, but Fallschirmjägers are coming on in. Again, this has been a truly, like, hard fight. Although it looks like the Axis are slowly breaking the Allies. Mortar pit under direct fire, and also bundle grenade comes in. Great hit on the assault officer. Another bundle grenade hits the infantry walking back against Sherman tank. Sherman tank, though, bringing up a good old Churchill. Opening fire on target with the infantry section. Pushing back the airborne troops. Mortar pit, though, is seriously down. Overall, Axis forces have made some great headway, knocking out numerous support weapons, knocking out a fortification, easily killing infantry left and right. Again, a good smoke could honestly bring the health down and stop their push as well, just to take note. So again, solid fight, all things considered, though great timing on the armor. Turian's getting of a heavy tank that can take a lot of hits, and a solid infantry killer came at a good time stopping the German infantry in their tracks, and honestly could come up if it wasn't for the ET guns on the side. But now that their Raketwerfers on their retreat, there's only one pack, and honestly, the Churchill's in a good enough position where he can take the hits. So if he wanted to push up and back up his stuff, I think he honestly could. Meanwhile, speaking of pushing up, 85 is pushing up again against an Oswin. Oswin having a real rough time here. We have some AT coming on in, though pack and mortar was decrewed. So again, Germans trying to switch on over and hold back the 85. But infantry is grabbing the fuel, and once again, it's like a constant fight. Neither side wants to give up the fuel. Meanwhile, T-34 on standby, so rifle going with a basic T-34. Most likely to save fuel, so he can get himself an ISU-152. Balam is not close to it, a IS-2 in terms of fuel, but actually is in the ballpark with manpower. Almost Adan is also on the field with a A flame panzer coming on in, of all things. Alright. More Fallschirmjägers, I assume. We got 3 squads of Fallschirmjägers. My god, he's really trying to drop in the airborne troops in a desperate attempt to just come on in and try to assist in any capacity. Anyway, Oswin pulls back. Again, you still have to worry about the 85 that's just been running around. Almost at vet 1. Probably will get it if he can connect a shot, alas. Come on, just get some kills. Pack on standby. Opens fire. Misses again. Hits the side of the wall. Meanwhile, again, we have Obersoldaten being pushed back by the armor. Again, Fallschirmjägers and Obersoldaten are great infantry killers. They're not so much against armor, where they kind of lack that. Smoke coming down. He's using a double flamethrower. Another unit must have died. That probably is true with the other Stern Pioneer. And just picked it up, having a double flamethrower, which sounds way too powerful and amazing. Armor-piercing rounds doing a little damage to the T-34. 76 variant has less armor, so yeah, the armor-piercing round's gonna do a bit more. Volk squad's moving on in. Again, really heavy on the infantry, which makes me think he's going with one thing, a King Tiger, because we have yet to see any sort of big tank from him. So we got medical, we have mechanized, and we have a Panzer. King Tiger is almost certain. Now, I do like how he's keeping his infantry alive. Again, immediately when something happens, he pulls it back, trying not to waste too much manpower, which makes sense. Again, with the Fallschirmjägers too, he immediately pulls back. You want to do that in a very heavy infantry slash like manpower drain strategy, because if you constantly are losing men and constantly having to reinforce, you're just going to be in a really negative state. Pack guns backing up the Panzer Grenadier with 19 kills already as it moves up. Pack guns opening fire on the Sherman. One connects, the other one does not. They're going to pull back though, one being bet 2, which is excellent to see. And I believe Onyx, as soon as he gets his men operational, will deploy a King. Flame! Oh my god, deploy the flames coming on in. Stuka, I think, bomb coming right here. Amazing Stuka bomb, a half track. Did not see that coming, along with the MG. Neutralizing a big component of Rifle's army, including his frontline capabilities and his suppression. He does have another MG, but still, big blow. Shock troops, though, moving on in with a 85 coming in from behind to kill the Flame Panzer. He should be able to. Again, Panther's now being made to counteract that thing, but luckily, Malam has solid infantry and AT, so the Panther will still have a rough time if he goes into fight. But what does, let's see, Newton have? He kind of has like a hodgepodge. A lot of packs, though. His double pack, which could easily force this unit back, but luckily Flare is being deployed by the mortar, which is over here, is at least giving an idea of what the enemy have as it arrives. So if the packs come up, they're like, oh, we see him coming, pull back the units, get him the hell out of there. So right now we have one up, but 85 can take a hit or two. He's trying to kill that squad, but alas, it survives. Oh boy. AVRE is on the field. Not buffed yet. Again, this is before any sort of patch arrives where it's going to get a small buff. But I still think it's a very powerful unit that I don't think deserves the buff, but we'll see how things play out once the patch arrives. But very strong unit. Overall, I'm like, I think the commander is fine, but AVRE is incredibly powerful, especially in a fight of attrition on a certain point and against an opponent that is using so much manpower, right? Like, Onyx is just, even though I mentioned the King, he's still not able to hit the King Tiger yet, but he will in just a moment. So very curious. Meanwhile, we have the Churchill coming on in, fires, annihilates the MG. Meanwhile, Sherman is on standby trying to use the high explosive rounds. I think may have killed the unit over here, and 30 does not have much of an army left. He might lose this Volk squad. And remember, he had a decent amount of men. So, Obersoldaten is all that is left. He has been completely crippled by the opponent. Panther, though, is keeping the enemy back, at least armor-wise. Infantry-wise, I have no idea how he's supposed to fight all that rifleman with one over squad. He is in cover, and one did retreat, but I don't know. It's still going to be a tough fight. Churchill coming on in. Volk squad's gonna have a rough time. Again, best to just retreat. Though, like I said, King is slowly making his way up to the front. Meanwhile, on the far right, IS-2 moving on in. Can he do something? He does manage to hit the Pioneer squad. And the enemy is just driven back. Meanwhile, conscripts moving on into the fuel. And right now, we have ourselves a Jaeger command squad moving on in to turn the tide against an IS-2. Yeah, you better turn left, buddy. You need something. Double pack is a good start, but you need something all back in IS-2. Because it looks like, unless I'm mistaken, Rifle and Milan have taken their territory very effectively. Now, ISU and 5-2 is not on the field yet. Looks like he's making more units in general, though he does have the fuel for it. He does have the fuel. Meanwhile, Sherman is moving on in. Might be able to hit the Werfer if he's lucky. Or just the Werfer continues to charge. Double packs are opening fire on the AVRE. Osman is well diving for some reason. Oh, it's that's a good reason. Huge assault. Bolshevikers leading the pack as the King Tiger pushes in against the AVRE and Churchill, trying to drive the British out, but the Americans coming on in. Small tank, but backed up by a big caliber gun, being a Jackson and an M1. Oswin, everything open fire. We have air support coming on in. And that's actually allied air support, being a Sturmvik strike called in by Rifle. Stuka bombs don't come on in based on a doctrine of, I think, the Firestorm doctrine. Yep, being the rocket barrage. Meanwhile, infantry and armor are still engaging. We have more air support, I believe, inbound against the opponent. And also, we have air support on the right, which is interesting. We no recon is flying in overhead. Oh, no, it's a Sturmvik strike. Wow, okay, they used all the Sturmviks. Oh, this is strafe. That's a more loiter. And it actually can hit the... Oh my god, yeah, he put them all the way in the base. Elephant's on the field now. Yeah, Jackson's going to pull them back as quickly as possible. Meanwhile, how is Onyx? Onyx, King had to pull back. His infantry, though, survived except for one Volk squad. Meanwhile, the Allies lost a Jackson to the Elephant. Great shot. AVRE and Churchill is badly damaged, though still fight if needed, though I would highly recommend getting repairs. Obers are currently suppressed by the MG, but again, their echelon so takes too much damage. And right now, it's a curious thing, because I think Milan might be able to hold his entire front by himself, which would allow Rifle to move on in and fight over mid. I say Rifle because he's closer to the middle lane, and has the half-track to reinforce. So right now, again, slowly but surely, 30 is reinforcing his men. Newton, again, feels like someone who's just been absolutely smashed, which is why I think Milan could easily hold him back and is more, not necessarily direct, like, major battles, but more sort of, how do I put this? They're just sort of like raids. They'll just cause some damage and get out before the IS-2 comes on in, because they can't fight that. So the fuel on the right's lost. On the left, they're still trying, but again, British artillery's coming on in, and it's a hell of a fight. Artillery's coming on in. MG's, though, holding the MG. Actually, M1 might go down right here. Very low. Same thing with the Volk squad. But still, very curious. Looks like all the support equipment in the area was either neutralized or retaken. Stuka bomb's coming on in. Kills the mortar. Will it be decrewed? Yes, it will be, so that's a positive sign. Katusha coming on in, so Rifle trying to help out the area in which it's most vulnerable, as this side, the Allies are not as, you know, dug in as they would like, and the enemy is absolutely going forward. Bolshevikers, by the way, not a high kill count except for one with 13 kills, but still, credit where credit is due. 30 has to contend with a T-34 and E5 and an IS-2. That's a real rough fight. He doesn't have any modifiers like heat rounds or something to combat it. He's going to have to rely on additional AT, but he has yet to get it. So, again, very curious in that matter. MG running for its life. Elephant coming on in on the Sherman. Might be able to get a good shot here. Firefly on standby. So, again, good armor force by Turian. King Tiger pushes back the Churchill. Luckily doesn't get a connect. The Churchill doesn't get hit. Where's the AVRE? AVRE's moving in. Jackson as well moving in to assist. Elephant has been revealed. Not a lot of infantry support. Looks like the T-34 might go in. Allies do or don't. Yeah, they have time on target. He absolutely can target the elephant. Elephant in a really bad spot. There he goes. Fires, but misses. Knocked out the engine. Time on target's coming in. Rockets come in as well. We have additional strikes being a Sturmovik strike coming on in. And yeah, that was overkill because they easily managed to take out the elephant with a good old T-34 ram. Alas, the direct strike itself might actually help kill the T-34, but the Panther does the final blow. Excellent work there. But even though they killed, you know, a T-34 that couldn't move, the elephant is dead. So, not sure what you do. Jackson coming out of the smoke of a dead plane to hopefully hit the Oswin, but doesn't manage to hit the target. Does hit the Flame Panzer, which might immediately die. Oh my god. Is he really just going to be absolutely annihilated? Yep, there he goes. The amount of tank destroyers over here is insane. Plus the Sherman, 20 kills, but Vet 3, solid work. King trying to come in, yet to get a single kill. Kind of curious on that. Like, why? No kill at all? Like, really? We have smoke coming in, so the Axis know where the enemy is. And now we have air support being the airborne assault from the Fallschirmjägers coming on in. Might, if it's lucky. Oh my god. I was going to say kill the Jackson, not kill infantry, but hey, sometimes you get lucky. King Tiger moving on in, but there's a lot of tanks right there, plus Pack Gun providing support. Might just do enough. The Allies actually, weirdly enough, don't have anti-air, which you figure they would get. Oh my god, infantry section goes down to the Oswin. Excellent job. 22 kills with the Oswin, plus the spawning skill really helps the enemy know where what the Allies have. Jackson and Firefly, though low, managed to live, but the Allies have effectively been neutralized in the sector. Fire going down, Oswin trying to clean it up. This could be a big F for all of Sherman. Oh my god, Sherman tank barely gets his men out of there alive. Like, they're on fire and being hit by a flak. Buddy, I would run. I would absolutely run for your life in that scenario. Though it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Again, on the far right, you have double T-34-85 plus an IS-2 with 33 kills, literally staring you down and asking you to pray for mercy. But the Axis have reinforced the sector. We have additional pack. We have double Panther, I believe. Yeah, three Panthers on the front. So if they do this right, they could push up and neutralize Malam's men. A combined effort while Rifle is a little bit farther away. Now, again, Rifle has an IS-2 but he's pushing on the left, moving him out of position in terms of a support action for Malam. If Malam is engaged by two armies at the same time, he's going to need to do some very cheeky maneuvers to hold them back and or ask the Allies, be like, hey, can you call down fire, artillery, and maybe some air support? But if anything, it seems like Malam is more proactive than reactive. He is engaging the enemy, he is pushing forward, I believe neutralizing a support gun, and still pushing up. Now, Panthers are moving on in. IS-2 might overextend a little bit, but that's if the Panthers really push, and this Panther is still healing. Rear armor shot on the IS-2, but driven back. Churchill hit by the King, and the King is penning. Again, weirdly enough, almost Vet 2, and no kills whatsoever. IS-2 and 5-2 is there to crack the King, but an Oswin's there to clean up the infantry. Axis, though, do have additional air support. He can't call it in over here, but heavy tanks can take a lot of hits, so it may not be worth it. Sturmovik strike knocks out the MG, clearing the way for the infantry. Meanwhile, in mid, the Panthers charging. Half-track might die again. Oh my god. He's like, not again! We can't lose another! AT gun comes in from behind by Rifle, but Panther just backs up and gets out of the way. It's like, alright, cool, you're facing that way, I'm just gonna drive away. And right now, Jackson and Sherman push up. Does miss the Panther, though. There's no immediate AT action in this sector. It's on another front. So it might be a situation where Sherman tank can then hit mid and kind of keeps Newton away. 30's left to kind of deal with Malam himself, and that's only two Panthers versus, again, AT, double 85s, and an IS-2. That's a hard fight. But, unfortunately, what's also a hard fight is killing this Oswin. My god, 29 kills. Oh my, it is absolutely turning apart the infantry. Can we get a kill on the assault officer? That would be a nice win. Alas, it doesn't look like it's going to come to fruition as the Volk squads are forced back. We have seen the Fallschirmjäger perish, and a lot of the support equipment has also died. But Onyx still has a decent amount of manpower, and it looks like he's still pushing forward. King Tiger's opening fire on the Churchill. Double rocket hits this area with lots of mines. Not sure what's going on there. Pack gun has also been... No, is that smoke from him? No, it's smoke there. God, very lucky dodges that shot, but the Firefly gets the kill. Meanwhile, King Tiger is relatively fine. I'm actually surprised how much health this King has for the amount of armor it's currently facing down. IS-2 moving in, but the King actually moves in to intercept. IS-2, I don't think you expected this fight, but I would run if I were you. IS-2 gets hit by a few different shots, and wow, at like a third health, it's going to need to pull back. Meanwhile, Panther's pushing on the right. Again, we have 30, and we have pushing against Rifle and Malam. I just don't think he has the men. I mean, like, he has good old stun, but, like, I don't know. There's an IS-2 here. You still have the 85. Anyway, Oswin, lucky enough, is at, still alive. Doing pretty solid work. Pushes back the captain. Oh, Sukuban comes on in. You know what, with the Werfer, they do manage to get some nice kills. And honestly, Sherman Tank's been taking a couple bad hits. He doesn't bring him up a priest, and overall his population is still relatively fine. But again, left side has some air support. Armor's going to be pushed back. Both Churchills are at least under 50% health. IS-152 is just barely above like 60. And yeah, the infantry looks like took some heavy losses. Onyx lost another Volk squad right there. Trying to go in for the kill on the rifleman, though could fire an AT grenade on him. Just needs one shot, although it looks like that won't be the case. AVMG now too. Would have been amazing if he killed another rifleman squad. T-34 looks like he tried to go in for a ram. Oh, he did ram. The Brumbar, there was a Brumbar there and he did kill it. But alas, the Panther did kill the T-34. Still a solid kill. Meanwhile, 30, Panthers again pulled back. Again, needs to go in and, actually buy the upgrade. But did he kill any of the armor? No, it's healing. Looks like there was a small engagement, but the armor is about to be operational fairly soon. Again, pretty close VP-wise, though great kill with the shock troops in mid. MG doing a solid work, suppressing. Pan's Grenadiers on standby. Again, right now is AT and the Panther and Pack are moving in to deal with the Firefly, which the Firefly tries to hit the Panther. Does look like it did connect. Smoke comes down. Almost kamikazes into the shock troops, which have been incredible. Is that demo? No, it's an MG42. Katusha comes on in. Pan's Grenadiers seriously low. Luckily manages to live, barely. Werfer comes on in. I'm actually not... Oh, it came down here. Okay. Again, the mines here I'm actually really concerned about more than anything else. Newton is seriously low on his overall, like, armored force. Meanwhile, allies have a... Except for Sherman Tank. Sherman Tank's pretty low. But again, not that low if you combine the Sherman that he actually has. So, overall, allies definitely have a clear advantage over the Axis, despite Onyx still is his king. But again, he's been losing a lot. He had 3 Volk and 3 Fallschirmjägers. Now he's down to 3. He's lost about half his infantry. Though again, I'll give credit. They keep getting kills, though the allies can always recrew that MG. Sherman Tank opening fire, manages to kill the MG. Rifleman and Zisgun, again, relatively fine. Conscripts pulling back. Malam making his move, trying to support mid, which makes sense. Again, double VP. You end this game a lot sooner if you put on that pressure. Conscripts throwing an AT grenade, might be able to stick. Yep. Makes that Panther get stuck with a broken engine. Incendiary comes on to the Jaeger command squad. Meanwhile, Oswind goes down. Elephant, though, operational, hanging the IC-152. And again, that's the one thing the IC-152 has to worry about, is that Starvik Strike coming on in along with British support. No time on target, so it's really just a light barrage. Nice shot against the AVRE. Churchill as well on the left, easily pushes back the MG. King, though, coming in saying, I'm sorry, what are you doing, mate? Meanwhile, Panther is engaging, but 85 comes in from behind and makes it unable to escape as he backs up into it. 85s quickly deal with it. Where's the additional armor? Still healing. If the Panther had additional support to block the 85, it would have been a way better fight. But alas, that didn't happen. Went in piecemeal, and that's what you get. Soviet swarm tactics. Meanwhile, again, British not, again, having a lot of support equipment like MGs or other things like that. So it was a good infantry force. Orfer comes on in. Looks like the T-34 does go down. Again, solid pack. Direct strike coming on in, trying to force the Allies with all the artillery they got. As an MG of all things captures mid. He's really low if that's the case. Again, the British are quickly healing. I'm assuming, yep, they do. Heavy engineers so they can quickly reinforce. Trying to kill these Fallschirmjägers on a retreat, but alas, the Churchill is unable to. Though, Elephant gets a great hit on that AVRE, making it run with its tail between its legs. It is down to like 25%. Air support can be called in. It looks like a Stuka bomb is being called in. Airborne assault as well. Right here would be perfect. I don't know why he did there. Again, back here would have been perfect. You could neutralize like 4 units easily. Elephant is back up to operational status. Churchill moving on in. 38 kills. God damn. I both bounced. The Firefly and Jackson like, did you pen? I thought you would pen. Alas, Werfer does go down. King is at vet 3, although now being hit by rockets. Again, gonna need to use those Shreks to hold back the armor. Or air support, Onyx. Just saying. We have time on target, but the King manages to get out. And again, no damage engine, so it just backs on up. We have arm-piercing shots now hitting the Elephant. And I do mean that, as I believe the Jackson, was using HVAP rounds. Pack guns moving on in, but there's no infantry support, so it's literally a bunch of crews fighting each other. Again, Firefly might perish here if they do this right. Oh my god, so low. Nice smoke drop, by the way. Trying to stop the pack guns, killing the Firefly. Churchill even takes the shot. He dives in front and it bounces off. Meanwhile, Malam is trying to put the noose tighter around the neck of, was it 30 and, was it Thornton? No, Newton. Meanwhile, the Panther goes on. Oh, never, yeah, probably not with that health. Just saying. Pulls on back. Again, probably needs a new Panther or a King Tiger, something. Air support's coming in the mid, but again, ISU and 5.2's there along with the S-85, so that's a big thing to contend with. Air support manages to drive him back, so good job. Great shot with the arty, right on the pack gun. Bouncing a shot right off the IS-2, unfortunately. Panther's like, I'm trying. For some reason, we can't pen the armor. Oh, wait. Panzer IV, of all things, goes behind the lines. Can he get... Oh, my God. I see. There's a lot of good targets back here. Oh, he hits the cache. That's fun. He kills the Katusha. Come on. Okay. Blitz. Blitz. Make a harder hit. One last shot. One last shot. You got it. Come on. Take the shot. Take the shot. Take the shot. You missed. Blitz. You need to blitz to increase your speed. Try to dodge the shot. The last Firefly connects. Neutralizes it. If he took out the priest, that would have been worth it. He did not take out the priest, so it's not really worth it. Because again, to be 100% fair, if it's rifle or... Well, yeah, rifle's just pumping out another one. Meanwhile, fights going in. Panther being blocked by 2 T-30-45s. Luckily gets Fausted, but you can't really do much. It's like, what? Do you want to keep fighting and like slowly get through the 85 and with whatever health you have left, keep pushing on through? Yeah. Luckily, Double AT is just bouncing off the IS-2. He's like, really? Do you think you can beat me? It literally bounced 3 times. Or, okay, maybe it didn't bounce. It looked like it bounced or did very little. He's like, come on, is that the best you got? Meanwhile, King still fighting. I'll give full credit. While the loiter is on the right, we have a strafe in mid. More Fallschmakers being brought in. Again, Onyx, I gotta give it up to him. He's doing pretty solid work, though I do think he can up his population with armor at the very least, or maybe do a dive or something. I could easily see some good hits in if he wanted to. Stuka trying to finish the job, unable to. Whoa, came in on fire, coming down the elephant, which upped the vet too. Priest is helping to keep that sucker back. Meanwhile, it looks like the Axis did manage to take over the right, but again, allies take it back. So the allies, they slow, like again, the allies advance was slowed, but the VPs are about to be taken again. It's just going to ramp things up. Middle has just become a absolute war of attrition for the Axis. And if any good historian knows, when the Axis do a battle of attrition, it doesn't typically go well for them. Stuka Bomb coming on in to decap mid. Again, not a bad idea. I still don't think it's necessarily worth it. I think more strategic targets rather than just, you know, that light target would be better. Like, more strategic than that would be like the VP or some, or, you know, the anti-air truck or something like that. King, though, trying its best at vet 3. Elephant has gotten healed. Jackson moving on in. You're about to be... Oh, my God. Is he going to be hit by a mine? If those mines come into play, I'll give credit. Oh, nice shot with the Priest. Elephant gets the final shot, though, on that. And I think it is... Yep, it is dead. The Elephant dies. So, alas, another great trade. King hanging the Churchill. Churchill coming on in, trying to kill the Fallschmakers, but might be able to snag himself a King Tiger. Churchill, by the way, has 8, the AVRE variant, at least has 39 kills. Gonna hit the AT gun, or Sturm? Sturm survives, though. Panther's coming on up. All right, let's see if you guys can work together. Although now it might be a little bit too late. I'm assuming Milan has mined up this sector, right? You have to make the assumption. I would assume. Maybe not. Meanwhile, Axis are not in a great position. Allies have retaken a lot of key sectors. They need a good counterattack. The last, again, Thornton doesn't seem to want, or can't help mid. I'm sorry, not. He probably wants to, he just simply can't. Unfortunately, he's being pressed on by the American and the Soviet, being rifle and Sherman tank. So again, Newton's just in a really rough spot. Half-track reveal. Again, not a great spot. Throws a grenade on it, because why not? Fallschmaker's trying to push up again, but there's so much British armor. The King is just so low on armor, and some good rockets to slow him down. Like, again, he can kill the infantry section just fine. The problem is the armor, and also Turian has so much manpower. Again, great shot with the AVRE. Managed to push back the Fallschmakers. Meanwhile, on right, we finally have the armor battle we've been wanting. Again, solid AT work helps bring down 85s. Quite a lot. He actually can turn the tide now. This Panther needs to engage. What's it doing? To have another engine damage issue. Air support coming on in. Again, Mercan Warfare is very low. IS-2 is at vet 3. 56 kills. Again, IS-2 just does not care. Panthers might finally try to push on in. We have a dive coming in again. Panzer 4 hits some mines, though. Great mine usage by Sherman tank. And again, now we have the Panthers diving against the IS-2, trying to go for the kill. IS-2 very low. 85 is... one of them did die. Okay, so they did kill it, though AT grenade stops the Panther. Additional Soviet support being S-25 comes on in. He might try to go for the dive kill, but again, that's very risky with all the infantry being conscripts around. It's like, do you really want to be hit by another AT grenade? So they're just slowly backing on up. S-25 is being targeted, though, by the Panthers. Again, hoping. AT grenade is easily thrown again. 85 coming on in. Easily will pick off the Panther. Almost not coming on in, but what are you going to do? You can throw a smoke, but they can direct fire. Can't exactly help kill it with any sort of, like, ballast or AT weapon. Again, decent shot right there. Nice shot. Again, holding back Dibble Sedan. Panther just trying to get back up to operational status. But the right side's pretty much fallen. Middle's barely holding on. I mean, the only person is here is Onyx. And he has been a real trooper, I'll give him that. But he needs additional AT. That's his biggest problem right now. ISU 152 just smashes the infantry. There's so many dead Fallschmakers. Panther, I give that 3, but still. Here comes the armor, and the Panther's still not healed yet. The 85 is trying to go for that kill. Again, no, the Sedan are just firing LMGs, and it's just not penning. 85 still pulling back, knowing he can be Fausted. He doesn't want to be hit from afar by a bunch of Panthers or something like that. And yeah, right now we're just in a real tough spot, honestly. Like, what do you do? Allies easily have map control, though, in terms of their units, but alas, for whatever reason, they don't have the right. They didn't have mid for a time, but that's been rectified. Pack gunsing the IC-152, but it has 43 kills. It does not care. Great shot on the Oh no, Tiger. Tiger might finally go down. Being Vet 5, they bring down the mighty Tiger. Although, again, he could easily deploy another one in a few minutes, but yeah, I don't think he'll get that chance. Werfer goes down. I'm assuming by artillery, right? Maybe artillery. What does Sherman tank have? Maybe not, or direct shot. Anyway, whatever it was, Werfer is dead, and that is game. That is honestly a solid game, all things considered. And I'll double check the after action report to see how the players did. I do want to give a special thank you to Malam for submitting this replay. I think it was a solid replay. It's funny because a lot of it dealt with just how tough the British armor was. Like the Soviet armors, respectively. A lot of the Allied armor did fairly well too, being the American and also rifles armor did pretty good with the IS-252. But honestly, the T-30-45s and the IS-2 plus the British were the two like sticking points in my mind. We look at overall damage, and yeah, Titan got slightly more damage, which probably from the Elephant, 117. So Onyx, you're my favorite German player, but easily with also. But again, Titan got more kills and also a little more damage. I'm gonna guess that's up to the Werfers that maybe died, but we'll check that out in a second. Meanwhile, on the Allied side, easily Counterattack has top damage and kills, and again, the Brits, the Churchill is fantastic. The Aphyria or the infantry tank variant, whatever one you have, they both were top tier killers. He had generally good solid frontline infantry, though a lot of support stuff died. Sherman tank was definitely being battered, though I think still held strong. Rifle did really good with his tank destroyers and also some solid infantry. Sherman tank, though, came in clutch with the mines at the end, so I'll give him that. Malam was thrashing 30 on the right, though 30 did hit the 85s. I don't think he killed that many of them. Newton, pack guns, yeah, they definitely took a lot. Again, King did so well. I mean, like, yes, it didn't technically kill any armor, and yes, it didn't exactly smash the infantry as much as they probably wanted to based on the kills, being Vet 5, but it still was trying. I think he just needed something else additionally to bring in the damage. Fallschmakers did generally fine. Titan, again, the AT guns. Newton was also AT guns. Centurion, the Firefly, near 24,000. Jesus. Sherman tank was a Jackson. But though, again, the Priest did solid work on kills, too. And again, they luckily didn't die. IS-252 got 50 kills. So excellent work there. Very quickly coming in, just smashing and killing all infantry that approached mid. And then, a half-strike comes in clutch by shooting down the planes, like the airborne assault that was trying to tear up the armor on the Allied side, but alas couldn't. But yeah, only lost one T-30-45, but so much damage. So gotta give it up to the Brits and all the Soviets for having the best armor. Like, they seriously, like, they were such a sticking point. They just couldn't die. And eventually, even when they could, the Axis lost everything. So solid game. Solid work. Hey, let me know what you guys think down below. But this has been Greyshot17, and I'll see all of you next time. Hey guys, before you go, let me give a special shout out to Aphyria, Folkvard, Joey G240, Balam, Ace, Tony B, Ion, Little Koosh, Samuel McKinney, Seth Coopers, and Jacob Oswald. Thank you guys so much for your awesome support and generosity. If you guys want additional content, check out the links above. Otherwise, I'll see all of you next time.